Good afternoon, salutations to all. Well, morning, noon, night, wherever you are around the world. Welcome back to the channel, people. KG is back with a it's a mishmash of everything. It's Daniel Farke's press conference. It will also be a match preview to the Peterborough game. So use this video as the Peterborough game if you want to drop your predictions. But there are things that I need to address. Daniel Farke addresses the Djed Spence decision. We also have a mountain injury list, which is slowly crept up on us, by the way. And we also talk about Daniel Farke's thoughts on what we need to do going forward to replace Djed Spence. But before we go into that, please hit a like on the video. It really does help out the channel in the best way. Subscribe to the channel, and well, depending on the content, drop your comments below, but not on everything. And I'll say that here. James Tyree saying, "What's up, KG?" Not much in that explanation. Yeah, there wasn't going to be, though, James. I think it's good for everybody all around if you leave it clean. So there's not a one of these things where it goes back and forth. I think it's quite clear that it was a mutual decision between the two after. I mean, listen, let's call it what it is. Djed Spence was brought in to be a right back at the football club, and not through his own fault. We haven't had a left back, so he's been asked to play there. He has been injured. But then when there has been opportunity for him to play right back, he hasn't been given the opportunity. So I think that everything coupled between the two parties just amounted to, okay, you know what, let's just break the deal here. And really and truly, from what I've heard, there's nothing else really to it. It was a case, that Djed was asking, why am I not playing at right back? But there was nothing untoward. And Daniel Farke even clarifies it in the press conference. Yeah, Lord Sheargraph saying a very polite way of saying none of our business. Let's move forward now, and that's all we can do. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still gutted that he's gone, and until I see somebody that comes in that's anywhere near his quality, this window is already an under 5 out of 10. We're the only team so far in the championship that's weakened our team, and we've got injuries already before the window even opened. We've got injuries, and we've weakened our team. So unless as I said to you yesterday, people are saying that Parag is cooking. We're gonna see what he's cooking. I want to smell what he's cooking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Damar, I hate the attitude label. I've had labeled on me, especially when you're working hard and you definitely ain't lazy. It's the worst. Damar, yeah, I assume that you're the same complexion as me, and that's why I closed off the comments yesterday. There was a lot of first timer comments yesterday, and I think those are the people. People often wonder how I get so many views for how many subs I get, and it's usually the people that like to hate watch, and it's like people have a hard time writing guessing what any problem could be. Must write attitude. I got to. Oh, yes, I've got to. Attitude. Yes, I couldn't resist. You know what I mean? It's just one of those, Damar. Listen, we've been through it, and that's why I've said it all along. Unless there's actual proof of a bad attitude, you're not going to get that off on this channel. You can go anywhere else. I'm sure everyone else will welcome that kind of stuff. It's not going to happen here. Like you, Damar, I've had it in my lifetime. And then even when you acquiesce and do what you're supposed to do, even then it's not good enough. As Damar, you will know the phrase, work twice as hard for half the respect. But you know what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Daniel Farke has clarified this. DF on Djed Spence, nothing major. We analyzed the first half of the season, especially over the festive period, and shared our thoughts. We're grateful for his time here. Wish him all the best. He's a player of great potential, cool guy with a great heart. Now, that doesn't sound like anybody that's had a real falling out with him. He doesn't have to say all of that if they had a real big bust up as been, put out there in the usual toxic Twitter sphere. So yeah, I'm not going to go any further than that. I'm going to leave it there. All I know is that we better get a right back. We better get another right back in, because if we are going to go the rest of the season with Junior Firpo, Sam Byram, who is still injured, and we'll get into that as well. And if Luke Ayling happens to stay, well, I'm sorry, then this is no better than under Radrizzani. It's no better. So we better see some action. Yeah, I hear you, Damar. For let me see, for Ten Ventura, why? Okay, the presser gave nothing on transfers, but I think we will do business in Farke we trust. Yeah, I mean, listen, he's not going to come out and no way should he come out and say, well, yeah, now we are desperate for a left back, right back. We need all of this because then you're just playing your hand, aren't you? And then by selling clubs know exactly where you're desperate. But if you come out and say, we're cool with what we've got, it kind of gives you a little bit more wiggle room. The only problem is if you're a selling club to Leeds United and you look at the fullbacks, you'll know straight away that you're not happy with what you've got. You'd know it. You know it, man. Um, Hannah here saying, I realize I'm not a manager, but Daniel thinks we're balanced. We are not balanced now, and a lack of reliable. Oh, we now lack a proper, reliable right back. Oh, and a left back, nine, and yeah, it's it, it's one of those things, Hannah, where I've always said on here, and when people comment stuff like, if it's good enough for Daniel, it's good enough for me. I always wonder what you're doing on fan channels then, because unless this is an echo chamber to Daniel Farke, you've got no reason to watch. Just watch the official press conferences and all that stuff. Tune into the official channels and just take that. You don't have to tune into fan opinion because if you don't want to hear it, or you're just going to say, well, whatever Farke says, I agree with, then what are you doing here? This is a space where you can put out your opinion. You can say what you disagree with, what you agree with. That's what it is. It's a forum kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, look, we're certainly not balanced, Hannah, to that point. We're not. And I think Daniel knows that as well. There's no way he looks at this team and says that it's completely balanced, especially now with our injuries that are mounting up, and we'll get to a bit later. But and yeah, yeah, Shrew. So we still have to pay one. Yeah, that money's gone. That money's gone. And you just wonder as well what in the 49ers, who have backed this guy and are backing him because they've obviously backed him with this decision to terminate the deal. It doesn't go without them saying so. But you also have to look at other things like the loan of Jaden Anthony, the signing of 5 million Gruev, who's hardly getting any game time. It's like, okay, if we back you more this month, Daniel, are you going to actually use these players, or are they just going to sit on the bench and come on for 10 minutes? So there's different ways that you have to look at this. So whoever's coming in at right back or left back, you would expect to start, but we've already seen under Daniel Farke that is not always the case. Um, I don't know. I just don't know. It's a tricky one, isn't it? Until this window closes, I guess we're not going to get the full picture of what we've really done. But at this moment in time, all I've seen is that we've weakened it, and so far the manager seems to be pretty content with what we have. And yeah, I'm not. I'm not just compared to what we're coming up against. That's above us. I'm not even talking about Ipswich as such. Talking more about Leicester, Southampton, even to a certain point, Sunderland, if they get it right and get to keep Jack Clark. There's a few teams that we need to worry about if we're not going to strengthen our team. Um, Yeah, Eon is saying, to be fair, if a loan was getting terminated, I thought it would be Anthony, especially with the talk of more coming in on loan. Yeah, Eon, it's not Eon, is it? It's Owen, isn't it? It's Owen. I always get that wrong. Owen, I would completely agree, and I've said that before. I would absolutely do that. I would terminate the loan, Jed Anthony, yesterday. I'd have done it before Djed Spence, and then go and get Kiefer Moore on loan as a striker. 100%. It's easily done. We don't need Jade Anthony, and Jade Anthony's added nothing as well. And again, some of it isn't his fault. He's not getting starts, but that's because he's not as good as the other wingers here for a start. That's to begin with. He's the worst winger we've got at the club, and we brought him in just because they can tell you all they want that they were looking at Jane Anthony from July. That is just it's rubbish. We left there with something. We left Bournemouth with something after we lost Sinistera. They looked at it as a PR disaster. We've lost Sinistera on loan. Hey, Bournemouth, please, we need to take back something. And they gave us Jaden Anthony. He's not even the best. He's not even close to being the best winger at this club. So I would terminate that one too. And surely, and that goes to your point. If we're analyzing, and Daniel Farker's point that we're seeing on the screen, if we're analyzing the first half, if there is a break clause in Jaden Anthony's contract, can we not exercise it? Please? Please. Um, but yeah, let me see. Okay, let's move on to the next bit then. So yeah, Jed, the chapter's closed. Wish you nothing but the best. But what do we do next? Daniel Farke on the summer transfer window. I'm expecting it to be calm. We're in a better situation. No player has been to say they want to leave. I'm happy with our squad. It's balanced. It's professional to check if there are options to strengthen our squad, but no panic. Yeah, I mean, I'll be real. I'm not panicked at this point, but I am. I'm. I'm. I'm apprehensive about what's to come, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, we need to get someone today. I did think we needed to get a left back as soon as the window opened, but that hasn't changed. But to say that we're in a better situation is that I don't agree with that. I certainly don't agree with that. And to say no players say they want to leave, I mean that's well and good, but the whispers about Creswell and Ailing and everything, and even then when he talked about Ailing, he said he didn't want to talk too much about rumors and everything. And I get that because that can be every single press conference this month. But even then, he couldn't guarantee that Luke Ayling staying. And if there was a guarantee that Luke Ayling of all people was going to stay, he would have said so. I'm afraid he would have said so because Luke Ayling has been here. He's part of the furniture. He would have just said, "Look, Luke Ayling's going to stay." But at this point, there is no guarantee. Um, yeah, the Germinator press for Roden have to rely on him covering the entire the entire back line now. He's even got a bigger job. Yeah, man. I know. Um, Yeah, beans. It certainly ain't balanced. It's not balanced at all. It really isn't. I mean, but obviously, again, I understand in one hand he's going to publicly say something, but behind the scenes, they're not stupid people. I hope they're not stupid people to think that this is balanced. Because remember, we left the last transfer window when it closed, and he said he was happy with Firpo and Byram as our left backs. No, we don't need to hear that again. Um, Let me just see something here. Hold on a minute. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Just checking out something here. While I'm just looking up something, please hit the like on the video, please. Uh, nah, I'm not seeing that in there. Okay. Right. Uh, Jack here saying who's going to play centre back. Well, on Sunday, Jack. The game's a few days away. Wait, what day are we on? Even I'm getting lost with the days, people. We're on Friday. Okay, so it's 2 days away. Even I'm getting lost. Um, Matt here saying, we'll go into the centre backs in just a moment, Jack. 100% KG, talk for peace and prepare for war. We must be making moves, negligent if not, regardless of what he says publicly. Yeah, Matt, in a nutshell, you've wrapped it up nicely there. Seriously, you've wrapped it up really nicely. And I agree with that. Because if we end this window like this, boy, oh boy, then yeah, boy. Vanilla Coffee saying, Farker has not filled me with any confidence. Yeah, I hear you. I hear what people are saying in regards to that, man. And we're gonna speak about something else that he said about Jorginho Rutter that we've heard before, and he's brought it up again. Oh boy. Okay, David saying, I'm just confused, KG. There's no emergency, but we have a number of injuries, and they are regular, like first team injuries. Yeah. Shout out to you, Jared. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Really does help out a lot. Memberships next to the subscribe button or in the link is in the description. Easily done. I know it's January and it's a tough time, but obviously this is my vehicle. So whatever you can do to help me out, help the channel out, it really does mean a lot. So thank you, Jared, and all existing members. Really long shout out to you guys. And Jared saying long overdue, all love. Thank you so much, man. Really does mean it means a lot that you're invested in me. But here we are, some injury news, and it's not even all on this bit, people. Sam will miss the game. Hopefully, he'll be back by Cardiff. Pascal's not available, and he's a doubt for Cardiff. So Pascal Strauch, who has been a bedrock of this defense and has really improved this season. Maybe it's his level, I don't know, but he's been good for us. Him and that Roden partnership has been pretty damn good, and you feel secure with it, don't you? But he's going to possibly be out for the Cardiff game next week. So whatever that injury is, maybe he's not fully recovered from that surgery he had, because he did come back pretty quick, man. That was a pretty quick turnaround. He's a doubt, so there's a centre back issue still. Um, Gelhart is still out with. I swear, Gelhart's been out with something to do with his body for a while now, isn't it? I swear he's had a glute problem for a while. Surely, I think it's been a while now. But yeah, Joe Gelhart is still out, and Joe Gelhart again is somebody that I would, if he was fit, he's actively someone I'd be moving this month, 100%. It's time for him to go. Um, uh, so yeah, there's players here that we should be looking to move really and truly. Um, and Carl's died. And then, of course, the goalkeeper. Wait, there. First of all, Liam Cooper's has got a minor issue. He might not play Sunday. He's touch and go. So Cooper's had a little strain from his last game. And this is the problem that we've got with Liam Cooper. Not just because he can't keep up in games, but every time he plays a game, it's like something seizes up in him. He's not. We just have to move on, people. Really and truly, we have to move on. And Carl Darlow, who should have been in for these 3 games to prove that maybe he could take over the #1 spot, and then we can just sell Melier for a nice big fee. He's going to be out for 7 weeks, people. 7 weeks. Unbelievable. Yeah, Jamie, most of the back line is injured. Yeah, it is. It's going to be interesting to see what we do. Does Yelder come back in? Yelder come back in from the cold. I mean, to say that we're balanced and in good shape, I think is very disingenuous. But yeah. So yeah, there we are. So Carl Darlow is out, and yeah, Pascal not available. We're gonna see what we've got to do. Ali, time for Creswell. Will it be if Charlie Creswell is to go? It's one of these things. I'm also looking at Peterborough, Ronnie Edwards, and if he's going to play, because I don't know if he's played already in the earlier rounds. So I should have looked that up. But you always think with these kind of things, are these players going to play in case they're sold to another club that will want to play them in the FA Cup? It's one of those things, isn't it? Is this player going to play come the FA Cup? We want him. We don't want him cup tied. And it will be interesting to see if Charlie Creswell gets a start. But if he doesn't start in this game, people, then he's got no chance, has he? Let's be real. Polly here saying, could it be a Roden Creswell partnership with Cooper out? I know Farke doesn't seem to fancy Creswell. Yeah, we shall see, Polly. Yeah, just in regards to what I just said there. If Charlie Creswell sees his future elsewhere, maybe the buying team wants him, not cup tied. So that's what I mean. It will be very interesting Sunday. Very, very interesting Sunday. So yeah, and I think that is it with the team news. Yeah. That is it with that. So yeah, let's move on. Let's move on. We'll talk about, we'll do score predictions at the end, but let's go in order from what I've got on my things. Matt here saying, what happened with Rutter? Is he keeping a leash on him again? It seems like it. We've heard this before, haven't we? I would get the article up, but it is absolutely riddled with ads everywhere that just jump all over the screen. So let me just get the meat and potatoes of it from the article. Via Graham Smith. Let me just get a drink. Oh my days. And don't worry, I've got your super chats for after. I'm just getting this thing up before the ads jump all over it. But yeah, Daniel was asked about how he could help develop good habits without removing the joy from the youngster's game. Farke responded, relentless talking and explaining. He went on, I like the first goal. This is against Birmingham, by the way. And then the second goal, our confidence was back. We were enjoying ourselves, enjoying our football. And I want my players to enjoy what we're doing. We should also entertain supporters. And Georgie's the type of player you want to come and see performing at the stadium. It's fine margins to make sure you don't embarrass the opponent. I want my players to make sure that we're respectful, respect the situation Birmingham are in, and always show class without unnecessary things to fool the opponent just because we're in a good mood. Again, this is where we go from where you just nod along to Farke and say, I agree. I completely disagree with that. 100% disagree with that. And I disagreed before after he said it was against Millwall or whoever it was. Oh man, this is the problem with today's football though. This is and I'm not one, trust me, I'm not one of these guys that thinks everything back in the day was better. I watch new movies, I listen to new music, You know, it's not one of those things where I think everything back in the day was better, but footballers were better back in the day. They are like robots these days because the coaches, they get people with flair and they just coach the flair out of them. Hey, instead of running past this player here, just check back, pass it into midfield or something. It's terrible. And and he also went on to say, and I'm trying to protect him from not getting injured by a tackle from somebody that doesn't like it. He didn't even say that in the first instance. So basically, he's coming up with two reasons why he doesn't want Georgie to do his skills and everything. But basically, just say you don't like it. It's as simple as that. Not every manager enjoys their players doing those things. You know, not every manager does. But just say you don't like it. Don't come out with excuses as to say, I want to protect him. But the whole thing about respecting the opponent, that thing's got to be dead for me. Listen, if you agree with him, please put it up in the chat, and we'll talk about it now. But I'm just not for it. Why would you stifle somebody? And the thing is with Georgie anyway, let's just say he doesn't do tricks to get past people. He goes past people without doing tricks. So once he's past 1-2, he's going to get clattered anyway, as we've seen in the games. He gets clattered every single game, whether he does a trick or not. So you know what I mean? I, Paul saying here, I agree, KG, very robotic football is. Yeah, it is robotic now. When you talk about players 20, 25 years ago, there was abundance of world-class talent about, abundance. I can guarantee if you was to go through a top five of each position today, you could not get five in each position to say they are world class and then put them up against some of the players from 20 years ago. It just can't happen. No one's going to watch Premier League years in what, 21, 22 and say, oh, remember Jordan Henderson? What a midfielder. Oh, look at the way he just runs around like a excited puppy dog. Oh, always giving the ball to Salah and Trent. Oh, what a player. No one's going to be doing that. No one's going to be doing that, but that is the way football is now. And as a fan, you have to adjust to it. You have to get used to the system is everything. You have to get used to players that need their hands held at every instruction because no one's got the creativity and flair and guile to do it themselves anymore. You get used to it. But these kind of things, when they come out, they don't help. Oh, yeah, we got a real skillful player. Rein it in a little, please. Lee Wake, imagine him saying that to Neymar. I mean, well, yeah, yeah. The German is saying, let Rutter do his skill moves. It helps him charge up his Super Saiyan. I'm assuming that's an anime reference. Darren saying, going by his logic, you would hate players like Maradona. I just don't get it. Yeah, Ali Farke must have hated 2002 Brazil. Remember, imagine him saying this to Ronaldinho. Oh, my Lord. Lord Sheargraph saying, when I played, I love stirring up opponents. Listen, if there is anyone that agrees with Daniel Farke, please put it in, and I will put it up. Yeah, just if you agree with him, put it up. Honestly, Mr. Dodo, tremendous. Football is too clinical these days. The days of flair and jazzy skills is over, and it sucks. It does. It really does. I honestly, the last World Cup, I honestly, and I wish I did some watch alongs to it, even though YouTube were kind of suppressing World Cup watch alongs for some reason. But I could tell in most games where the ball was going in each match, whether it was a pass from the back to the side to the middle. It was so robotic, man. It is so robotic. But yeah, Shrui here saying, got to go for the kill in every game. Who cares about embarrassing the opposite team? He shouldn't care about that because I'm telling you, if any team in this league can get Leeds down to 4-5-0, they won't stop there. And they'll be celebrating it all week long on social media. We'll never hear the end of it. But we as Leeds United have got to respect the opposition. Why? Yeah. David saying, I 100% disagree with Farke on that. Nothing wrong with flair. There's zero wrong with it, man. There's not enough in the game, people. That's why you're getting all these excited, energetic rabbits that are being sold for 60 million, the Conor Gallaghers of the world and everything else like that. It's all about energy these days, people. And if you can pass 4 or 5 yards to your left or right, there's just no skill or flair in the game. And when there is, they're called luxury players, or they're called or they don't trap back enough on all that kind of rubbish. It's like, oh my Lord, drop me out, man, please. Please. um Let's have a look. Jack saying he never says nothing about Nonto and Somerville dancing. I think he's more talking about something that can happen on the field rather than their dancing celebrations after a goal. He's talking about when because listen, we as fans, I think we probably think in our heads if someone was to spin us, we're definitely 2 foot in them, right? I think most of us would say that. I know I would, but that's why I'm not a professional. But professionals sometimes, if the score line's bad, they can go in for an ugly tackle, but that can happen at any time. We've seen it happen at any time, whether there's been tricks or not. And Jorginho is always getting roughed up. Somerville himself as well, double, triple team. I just don't agree with it. But yeah, um, just if you agree, disagree, that's cool. But okay, Chris Kingy, I actually agree with Farke on this. Oh my, wow, okay, 100%. Damn, I can't even say that with a straight. Chris. I actually thought I had someone that agreed with Daniel there. Fair enough, Chris. I should have known with it being you. I should have known. Um, Let's have a look. Yeah. Okay, so that is that with that. Just that Jorginho Rutter thing has come up again. Let's see. As I said before, when it happened the first time, let's see if anything comes of it with Jorginho, whether he reins it in or what have you. But then you rein it in, you're taking away something from his game. And yeah, he had me in the first half. He definitely did. Chris had me in the first half. But if it does, the only person that will then get criticised is Jorginho for not doing enough. The fans will say, well, Jorginho's not doing enough to beat players anymore. It won't go on Daniel Farke. It will go on the player. But yeah, okay. Let's go on to the Peterborough game just very quickly because I'm not trying to be horrible, but it's an FA Cup third round game. If we were to get through to the latter rounds, then yeah, we'll go into detail. But it should still be a decent game. Peterborough are an attacking team, always have been under the ownership of Darren McAntony, and they've got some very quick and lively players. Djed Steer, a goalkeeper. Oh, Djed, no, it's too soon. No, I'm joking. They've got Ronnie Edwards, who I spoke about yesterday, who's somebody that I would love to sign for Leeds United, but we'll see if he does play or whether he stays out if to avoid being cup tied for a future move, because I know Palace are heavily interested in him. Midfield here, Poku's very technical, very diminutive, good player. And then, of course, up front, they just Peterborough have always been the same up front. They just love pace. They love pace up front. And Johnson Clark Harris, don't know if he's going to play. Ricky J. Jones, another quick striker. And of course, with our injury problems, this could be an issue, and there could be an upset. And you know what the thing is as well. By the way, people, we're talking about injury issues and everything else like this, blah blah blah. Melier's coming back soon, but no one seems to be really talking about the goalkeeper situation. Is everyone cool with Clarkson? Probably yes. Probably yes. Yeah, I don't know if this was before Darren McAntony, Paul, but yeah, remember Peterborough of Crail McHale Smith up front, very attacking team. They always have been, haven't they? And we was linked with Crail McHale Smith until he retired, wasn't he? He's one of those. He was in that Billy Sharp, Crail McCake Smith, and what was the other one? I'm not going to forget this one. How annoying. How annoying. There was another Adam Lafandra. There was always those three strikers that when we was in our championship, the third stint, I should say, probably, that we was always linked with. And Mikael Smith was another one. Darren Wong saying, we have no choice, KG, all crap keepers. And Ali saying, I'm cool with Klaassen for the FA Cup. Yeah. I hear that in terms of Klaassen. Like I say, I know a couple of you are very high on Klaassen, but if we are in for Drakowski or someone else like that, and we can offload, one of these keepers, Darlow being out for 7 weeks after, I think that's been a bad signing. And this is hindsight talking. When he signed, I was all for it because I thought this is a guy that will probably take over the number one spot. He's experienced in this division. But when you couple it with him accepting being on the bench after being on the bench at Newcastle, coming down the league to be on the bench, and then the unluckiness, I guess, with the injury, now he's out for 7 weeks. Yeah, it hasn't been a good one, has it? Lee Wakey saying, bring me Nigel Martin, please. Imagine, I used to love Nigel Martin. Still my favorite ever Leeds goalkeeper. It's not even close as well. Nigel Martin was was awesome, man. Absolutely awesome. Uh, Gordon is saying, I'm very nervous about Clarkson. Why is everyone telling people to shut their mouths in the chat? What's going on in here? What's going on? But yeah, listen, Peterborough away. Let's go. Let's go with score predictions, people. I'm gonna say I think it's gonna be a real attacking game for both teams. Ends up 0-0. Now I'm gonna go with. mm, I'm gonna go with a 4-3 Leeds. How about that? 4-3 Leeds. Let's go. What are you saying in the live chat? Jamie 10-10. That's tremendous. Lee Wakey saying 3-1 Leeds. Jack is going for a 2-1 Peterborough. It's not out of the realm of possibility, is it? We haven't done well against lower league opposition in the last few years, even though I always say history is there to be, records and history is there to be broken. Let's hope that we can do that. Gil's going for a 2-0 Peterborough. We're not going to score against Peterborough, Gil. Damn. Hannah going 1-0 Leeds. Ian going 3-2 Leeds. Mr. Ripper going 4-1 Leeds. Get your money on it. Only if you gamble. Gamble responsibly, people, please. Paul Gray saying 2-1 Peterborough. FA Cup third round away against lower league teams usually means we get beat. Mark Wright coming on for Crawley. Yep. Polly saying 4-1 Leeds. Awesome Boys is going for 1-1. Awesome. Wait there. Is that? Have I said Awesome Boys? Oh. I'm going to just call you Awesome from now on. Salford City again. Listen, yeah, exactly. We've got form, haven't we? We've got form. James saying 5-2 to Leeds. Yeah, Shrewey saying 2-1. C Stone saying 2-1 Leeds. And Bamford should have 6, but gets a brace and becomes a starting striker for life. Okay, I hear that. Yeah. And number 2, Bish. I agree with this. I wouldn't mind a win. Hopefully, we can get some low league Premier League team at ER. No, I was going to go the opposite way. I thought you was going to mean another lower league team, but at home. I would love an easy run up until the semi-final or wherever, and get to a final. Listen, people want to go out the cup and concentrate on the league. I get that in one hand, but we saw Sheffield United with all their problems off the pitch last year maintain a top 2 challenge and get to did they get to the semi-final against Man City, or was it the quarters? It was one of the two, but they went on a decent cup run, so it can be done. It definitely can be done, but I just don't know what going out to Peterborough will do for morale with some of these players, especially if it's some of those that don't get to start very often. But yeah. Listen, your name has been like this forever, but I've never said it in full. I've always just called you Arson. But I added the last bit, and now I wish I didn't. But yeah, shout out to you, man. Ali saying, I don't think we've got the depth for it, KG, and losing a few players cripples our team. Ali, we've already lost players. You're going to see the bandaged, taped up defense we're going to have to put up against this team this Sunday. We've already lost players. And yeah, it was a semi-final for Sheffield United, and that happens with every team. But listen, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this one. I don't think there's going to be any other news today, unless there's like a real solid rumor of some sorts. This will probably be the last stream of today. Probably back tomorrow if there's any. There should be some concrete rumors or something. Gonna have to start delving into looking at right backs who would want to get and who's available. Something that I hadn't done up until today. Even yesterday, I was still processing it. I was just lying down like this, looking at the ceiling. Like I was in shock. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Before we go as well, just for the away fans that do travel, you probably already know this, but I mean this is shocking. I know Sky move games and everything else like that for coverage, and it's going to be it's something that happens. But okay, Swansea Leeds Tuesday, a midweek 7:45. Okay, but this one here, bro. Plymouth versus Leeds, Saturday, 17th February at 12:30. What? Excuse me? That means you're either having to get up at silly o'clock in the morning to get to this game, or you're going to have to stay overnight in Plymouth. And that again, I mean, we already knew it, and you already know anyway that they don't really care about the logistics of fans and where they travel from. Not saying everyone is going to travel from Leeds, quite clearly that it's global, Leeds support. But that is ridiculous. You know what I mean? That is ridiculous. And just before I go, Karen, thank you for that. I'm going to go just with the super chats before I leave. Lord Sheargraph saying for the game or in future, Shax, Pascal, Coops, Furpo, back four, bring it on. Oh my lord. Oh no. Could you imagine that? Jamie Shackleton's not even fit. Oh my lord, that would be oh god. Lord Sheargraph, that is scary. Beans here with a super chat. Thank you, Beans. Top content and top guy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Karen here, great stream and content. Karen always bigging up and supporting the channel. Thank you so much, Karen, for that. But yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, Paul Gray here in regards to the travel. 12:30 Plymouth away is a joke. I remember going to Yeovil on a 12:30 kickoff, set off at 3 a.m. in the morning. They don't care about fans. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, isn't it? But yeah. But that will be it, people. Unless there's something major breaking like last night with Djed Spence, and you have to check it about 5 times to make sure it's real. That will be it. Just for this video, I'll say this. Like the video, that is really the best way to help out the channel, and subscribe. And I'll leave it there on this one. But thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow, more than likely. If not today, tomorrow. Peace out, people.